it's good with carbs, but like it's slow to digest. Like look how much you brought.
What's up guys, welcome back to the cross country series. Today's video is going to be a recap of states. So without further ado, let's get into it. Our race was on Friday and we left Thursday, the day before. Obviously just to get a feel for the course and not be super rushed as it, the race was in the morning. Don't really want to drive there day of. So we left around 11 o'clock on Thursday.
Friday the 13th.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's one way to go out, bro.
About an hour and a half or maybe an hour into the drive, we stopped at Busy Bee. Making our first stop at the home of the Whopper, Burger King baby, and Busy Bee gas station. Pretty exciting stuff. Probably gonna get something to eat.
Can you hold this? Can you hold this? I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
No, Anthony, talk to me about the hat.
So, I seen it, and the race coming up, I just gotta be a drag guy, I gotta hawk him down, man.
Gotta hawk them down.
Yeah, hawk him down.
That's what it's about.
They don't call him the hawk for nothing.
Yeah, so, I gotta get into that, that mentality, that dragon mentality.
That dragon mentality.
But I think I'll maybe get like a brisket sandwich or something. Some melon sounds pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I don't know. Edward, some of the guys kind of already ate, and we're running in like 2 hours, so I don't really want to eat anything like too heavy. So I'll probably just get something pretty light. Lemon lime Gatorade. Little mixed fruit cup. And some cheese and crackers. Once we left Busy Bee, we had about an hour drive to the actual course. Instead of going to the hotel, we just wanted to get the shakeout run done. So we drove straight there. And you can see here, we did some strides, stretches, everything like that. We did one lap around the course, which was great. Trying to learn the tangents and everything like that. It was my first time being on this course at all. And a really awesome course. Definitely got me, pumped up to race it. The wall, which we'll talk about later in the video, the big hill, it's no joke, man. It is no joke. Tallahassee, it's hilly, man. I'm from Jacksonville, so I'm not, used to really any hills at all, but Tallahassee is hilly. But it's alright. Boy took a shower, looking nice and clean now. We are heading downstairs. We're gonna meet up at the lobby at 6 and then grab something for dinner. How are we feeling, Edward?
Pretty good. A little tired, but pretty good.
Thank you.
I get mac and cheese or tomato soup. Mac and cheese.
What are we feeling?
I don't know what we're having. I'm getting the ciabatta dip.
Alright, bacon mac and cheese might be the move. Blake, what are we feeling about getting?
Oh yeah, bacon mac and cheese right there. Let's go to the
We're a little worried if the dairy is going to mess up our stomach, so when in doubt, ask ChatGPT.
Dairy won't mess you up. It'll be a 24-hour.
That's just mac and cheese.
It won't mess you up.
What's ChatGPT say?
It's Gemini, but the same thing.
Talk to me, Edward.
Because they're not individual thinkers. They just follow.
I don't know. It says like it's good with carbs, but like it's slow to digest.
individual thing. Got some bread. Got some mac and cheese. Hate to bring it to y'all, I didn't realize how small the portions are at Panera, so I might end up getting some more, but it is what it is. All right, so the small bacon mac and cheese was not enough, so your boy got some more. We got a bread bowl with an apple of the bacon mac and cheese, so hopefully this fills me up a little bit more. When I was done with dinner, I headed over to the Target right across the street and just kind of messed around. You know, wasn't in the video I was acting like I was looking for something really important like a headband. I just kind of wanted to go to Target and waste time. I'm not gonna lie, and look at Legos. So hate me, sorry, but you know, yeah. I'm rewatching the footage and like I'm trying to make it seem like, oh, you know, I'm just gotta go get. I bought like 2 bananas. Oh shoot, y'all should subscribe. I bought like 2 bananas and a headband, which, spoiler, never ended up wearing. So kind of just wanted to chill. Didn't really want to obviously do too much the night before the race. Didn't need to go out and explore, whatever. Didn't need to do anything like that. So kind of just chilled in the hotel room and then filmed my kind of race game plan. I'd love to get sub 30 for this race. Haven't done it this season yet, and that was kind of my goal. I got 30:04 2 weeks ago. I was so close, and that was a great course. But, you know, unfortunately, I couldn't get sub 30. So it might be a little, you know, whatever, to have a time goal, right, as your goal for a race. But that really is, you know, my goal, right? Obviously, I want to pass other people too, but that's kind of like my main goal for the race. What is my mindset going to be when it's 8:20, right? And I'm 20 minutes into my race, or 8:25, right? And I'm still going. What's my mindset going to be then, right? Am I going to, when I come up that hill for the 3rd time, am I just going to sit back and be like, well, you know, I'm getting close to the end, whatever, or am I going to kick it up, and when I get to that flat end and that downhill, give it everything I have? Literally crawl, right? Like Cooper Tier, you know what I mean? If it comes to that, it comes to that, right? Not leaving anything in the tank. That's my biggest fear, right? If I don't get sub 30, right, that would suck. But if I gave everything I had, then whatever, right? I walk away. You know, today I didn't get the time, but I gave it everything. And that's really kind of how I'm looking at it. All right, so 8 o'clock hit and it was race time. The gun went off and the race went out very fast. Your boy ended up kind of getting a mile PR, which isn't very good for a race where you kind of run like basically 5. First mile went out at like 5:34, which, yes, I know I am kind of rolled. Give me a bit of credit. I'm sure I could run a mile faster than that, but technically by like the recording of the video, I didn't do track before this or anything like that, right? Cross country was my first time doing like any sort of running sport. So technically I went to a track like once a few months before the season and ran like a 5:50. Cecil, I went out fast, but felt dead. This race, I went out fast, but actually didn't. You could have told me I ran like 6:05 and I probably would have believed you. I feel like I was probably moving faster, but my body felt great. So first mile went out fast, but I was feeling good. Got to about mile 2, mile 3, same thing, feeling good. Then we got to about mile 4, and that's where I kind of started to settle, right? At this point, people had passed me, I had passed people, but my body was kind of dead at this point. And I think by the time I hit mile 4, I'd either already had done it twice or at least once, the wall, that giant steep hill. And if you've done this course, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It is brutal. I don't know if I have any photos or videos of it, but it just sucks, man. It just beats you, right? And there's nothing you can do about it, right? You just gotta approach it in the best way and positive way possible. But it definitely whooped your boy. But yeah, so I got to about mile 4, and this is kind of when the race started to fall apart. I kind of just started to settle. Instead of trying to move up with people and all that sort of stuff, I kind of just got comfortable and settled. And, you know, looking back on the race, I thought I approached it well and, you know, was racing fast, but obviously, judging by my time, I really didn't. So that kind of happened. And then finally we got up to the end of the hill and I ended up making a decent kick. I was at that point kind of in no man's land. There were people behind me still, and there were people in front of me, but like they were super far away, so I wasn't going to be able to, you know, probably catch up to them. And, you know, like I said, I was kind of just in no man's land, to be honest. that point I was going for time, and my coach on that downhill, right when I made it up the hill, let's start basically with like 500 meters left. Kind of had a decent jog. Then I was like, bro, you got to give it everything you got. Started kicking, saw my coach. I think he told me like 29:50 or something. And I looked at my watch and was like, yeah, I could maybe get it. And then I realized how far it was. And at that point I knew I wasn't going to get sub 30. And kind of just jogged the rest. I hate to say that out loud. But yeah, once I kind of realized I wasn't going to get the time and no one was probably going to pass me, I just kind of jogged. And it's unfortunate. You know, I kind of left this race not with the feeling that I gave it everything I had, but the feeling with I could have given it more. I feel like in the mid portion, probably could have ran a little bit faster and then just had a better kick at the end. And I think if I had done those two things, probably could have broke 30. So it's unfortunate. And again, I'm not trying to make a negative video. I try to be a pretty positive guy, but you know, sometimes you don't meet your goals, right? And that doesn't mean you give up, right? You just got to learn, all right, what did I do wrong in this race or leading up to the race, and then just try and fix that. So it sucks. You know, I really wanted to say, oh, I broke 30 at States, or, you know, I got a PR, whatever, right? Obviously, everyone's got different times that they're reaching for. Some people are mad with, you know, 26, right? Obviously, I'd love that. Maybe one day. But, you know, it just happens, man. And it sucks. But that's why I make these videos, to hold myself accountable. So a few months, I can look back on this video and, you know, not let that happen again, because it sucks, right? And if this may have happened to you in a particular race or just anything in life, right? You didn't reach your goal. It happens, man, right? Sometimes you don't do it. That doesn't mean, like I said, it does not mean you give up. You just gotta kind of reevaluate and be like, all right, how did I approach this wrong? And let me try and, you know, change that up. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the race. Even with the bad performance of myself, and the team had some other guys. Blake ended up getting a PR, so shout out to him. And then for the girls team, May actually got in first place. So that was awesome. But for the guys team, at least, we did, a couple of weeks later, we figured out that we did make it to nationals. We were number 24, but hey, you had to be in the top 25 or something like that. I don't know how exactly it worked. The fact of the matter is, I'm going to nationals, so I'm pretty hyped about that. That's gonna be all for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, drop a like, subscribe, and hope you guys have a great day. Peace.
Hi, editing David. Hi, editing David.
So like, where are you at? I knew you were gay.